Mike's Guitar Workshop. Today we're not fixing guitars, we're going to review something, and we're going to be reviewing the Dusenberg Les Trem. And just to let you know, this is not a paid promotion, I bought this myself. In fact, I liked it so much I bought two of them. So let's see what it's all about. The Dusenberg Les Trem is basically a retrofit tremolo for guitars with a tailstop such as this. Any kind of guitar, as long as it has a tailpiece like this. And I've already fitted it, as you see here, but it's very simple. You just remove the tailstop and you take out your two screws, and then it is supplied with metric and imperial screws for different types. Then you just screw it in and you string it up and off you go. It's as simple as that. The Les Trem comes with imperial and metric screws to mount, some extra washers and two Allen keys to do some adjustments. To mount, you simply remove the two screws that hold the bridge on, put the Les Trem over and screw the appropriate screws back in. The washers that are supplied enable you to raise the tremolo system off the guitar should you have a very carved top, but in my case it wasn't necessary and I have some clearance all around. I opted to install a roller bridge, but that is not entirely necessary. But just to complete the look, I put on one of these. But in essence, that is not critical. You can also use this tremolo system without a roller bridge. Some adjustments that are possible are the tension of the arm, as well as the angle of the arm in relation to the guitar, so you can pull it higher or lower. I also found that if you're not using the included washers to raise the bracket from the body, you can actually use these washers underneath the arm to change the tension of the spring. Because if you put a few of these washers in, that'll raise this arm and that'll change the tension. Another advantage I found to installing this is for string changes. You no longer have to pull the string through, you can just slip it over here and string up. It's much quicker to restring a guitar. I would say that this is possibly not for everybody. If you're a dive bomber, then this will not be for you. But if you use it the way it's intended, then it's actually very usable. If you, however, push it to the limit, it does have a tendency to go a little bit out of tune. Also, if you go the other way, I find that it doesn't come back to tune properly either. But that's a quick fix by just giving it a quick tweak there. Now, the other trem that I bought was, unfortunately, the only one was available was a left-handed version. And I need, obviously, the right hand. So I did buy this because I knew I was going to paint it black anyway. So the first thing I did is I modeled it in Fusion 360 and I just printed a version, and I could just use this as a template to cut out a new bracket. So I went through a few iterations to see what will work. I thought I might use the straight version, but that just doesn't look right. The second version was great, except for I didn't get the holes lined up exactly right, so it was fractionally off on the side. And then the third version is the final version that I used, and that's the one that's on the guitar. I cut this out of a piece of 3mm aluminium. The first thing I did after measuring the distances, before I even drew the template, was to square up the lug holes exactly where they needed to be and drew my center line for the pins. Thereafter, I placed my 3D printed part over the top, marked out the mounting holes, then I drew the shape. I then cut it out, filed it, whatever, and I cut some square holes into the bracket at the pre-marked places and chamfered the other side. And what that allowed me to do is to insert the T-pieces that I made slightly more proud than the actual base, and basically pin them into the chamfered slots, which is basically the way a rivet works. And it's been on the guitar now for 2 months and it hasn't moved, so that's certainly very strong. In fact, I did try and pull an old version out. I tried to pull one of these pins out, but it was so tight that I actually ended up bending the 3mm aluminium plate or the lug itself. So I have no worries about it popping out with the tension of the strings. So basically the Les Trem does exactly what it says on the box. It has its limitations, of course, as any tremolo will, but in my experience it's fairly stable. Throughout a set I might need to tweak a string every now and then if I get a bit heavy-handed, but for the rest it's great. Yeah, I like it. But for the rest, yeah, thumbs up to Dusenberg for designing such a simple and affordable tremolo. Thanks guys, please subscribe, like, and if you haven't hit the bell notification icon at the bottom, do that, and then you'll see when the next video comes up. Cheers!